Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. I cannot believe we are in July. I am with my very old friends. They're not old, but we've been friends for a very long time.
Life experiences.
My close friends. I have Gert Garman in the middle and Vic Collazo to the left. So the most important thing that I need for you guys to do is give us a heart or a thumbs up. Let us know you can hear us or see us. Because as much as, look, Jackie came on. Hi, Jackie. So give us a thumbs up, Jackie, and let us know you can hear us or see us. I found out that number in the corner doesn't mean anything because people can come on and be silent. And you don't get to see them. So we have a lot to talk about. We got a heart. That's good. That means they can hear us. And they can see all of us. Chris Lowe, thank you for tuning in. Chris is a guest. She's been on the show before. So welcome, guys.
Thanks.
I'm excited because this was not my idea, which is great because I love it when people have creative ideas about things and want to come on and talk about something, which I love this topic. I love the original topic. I love how we're melding it together. So enough about me. Welcome. All right, so they always love the origin story. You've both been on the show before. Vic was on early on. Gert was show number 1. She's, what do they call that, ground zero, where you're patient 1. You're not patient 1, but you certainly are.
I'm not patient at all.
You're definitely not patient.
Yeah.
No, you really are. So give us a little background on both of you and tell us what you do, and then let's bring it together, how we know each other, and then I won't speak so much. So here you go.
Ladies first?
Go Vic.
Ladies first. All right, we're going to go Vic. Vic first.
All right, I'm retired from Valencia and UCF after 30 years of dealing as a student development specialist. And all I do now is volunteer and help people in the community. So that's my role right now. And I have the opportunity to work with these great people all the time.
And how do we all know each other, Vic?
You were a former student.
I was.
Yes.
Believe it or not, I was a student.
Educator.
Hi, Monica.
Yeah, same thing with Gert. And yeah, look at all these fun people signing
We're
up.
all UCF people.
Yes.
Yep, we're all UCF people. We all know each other via the Greek system at UCF. Back in the day, it was not FTU. Well, at least I was not FTU.
It was FTU/UCF
There you
for
go.
me.
I liked UCF, but it doesn't matter. It's still the same beautiful campus, and we had some amazing times and built, obviously, lifetime relationships because, we love you too, Monica, because of the Greek system and because of our involvement on campus.
Well, I think it's important, especially for those that have children going to college for the first time, the importance of getting involved in leadership programs. Whatever it is, for us it was Greeks, it was peer educators, O-Team, student government,
I was
involved
president of
with
the dorms.
the
You
programming board, being an RA or
Yeah.
president of the dorms, whatever happens to be. It's
Laura
important.
Brown got on. LB, what's up? That's a blast from the past.
With her little UCF
With her
emblem.
UCF emblem.
I love it.
All right, so
Because I think that's
Go
a
ahead,
good
go
lead
ahead.
into what we're talking about, because it leads into lifelong connections that are made.
lifelong connections, guys.
And recently, there have been too many negative opportunities for us to get together as a community. Funerals, people getting sick, and us gathering to support them and support the families or whatever. And went to a funeral a while back for Keith, and Gert and I were both there, and afterwards it was like a reunion outside of the church afterwards.
It really was.
These people I haven't seen in years that we know, and we connect through Facebook every once in a while, but we all went up, gave each other big hugs, asked how we were doing, little 30-second elevator talk about what's going on in our lives, and then we all sat there and said, we need to get together for lunch, coffee, and usually it doesn't happen.
Right.
It's true.
So I talked to Gert about this, and I said, we need to come up with ways to make sure those kind of things happen. Some of it's my fault, because I don't follow through as much as I probably should.
Guilty. I'm guilty.
And so we came up, and I threw out the idea of having this show to get your ideas, share some of our thoughts and ideas. Being the professionals that we are, we waited until Sunday night to come up with a title.
I'm not usually included in the professional group, but thank you very much.
And the Accelerated Serendipity, Gert being the smarter one, came up with that title. And I'm quickly going to let you know what I think it means, and then Gert can share and Ted can share, and then hopefully we can get some ideas from all of you on ways that we can put this into an action plan to make sure it works, so we don't go to funerals and interact, and that we can create those healthy environments for us to get together. So she came up with a title. I Googled it because I had no idea what the hell it meant.
I did the same thing. I'm sorry, Gert. You said I've been studying. I've been reading this
book. We
book.
need something groovy.
You did. Oh, groovy was her exact word, actually.
Let's do Accelerated Serendipity. Crickets. I heard nothing back.
No, I had to Google it first. It took me a minute.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Gert, tell us about you before we dive in.
Oh, so, oh my gosh, you guys. So my career path has been like Lombard Street in San Francisco, so all over the place. Worked retail marketing, UCF, the city of Orlando, Valencia, Disney. So just had some really cool jobs. A lot of credit union work. Now I have my own company. It's 3 years old. It's called Broad Perspective. I am the head broad.
She's the head broad. I love that.
So it's fun because then I get to come and play with these guys and do fun stuff. So it's like, it's nice. It's nice being an entrepreneur. But if you are one of my clients, please pay your bills on time. Please, please.
I love the push for that.
Gotta pay the
Mama gotta pay her. Mama
yes.
got a cocktail to buy.
Yes, that's
Come
right.
on.
So,
all right, you go
anyways.
with mortgage.
Yeah.
All right, hi Jen Thompson. I know you're Jen Grayson, but we know you as Jen Thompson.
Jen was my roommate. She was one of my
Lynn
roommates.
Anderson said, met Gert last year, an awesome presenter.
Oh.
Lynn and I went to junior high and high school together.
Oh my God. Oh, that's right. I remember meeting her. Yeah.
All right, so you come up with this after the discussions, and we all felt it. I was not at the funeral for Keith. I was at the celebration of life that Monica and her family did later on that evening. And so you're feeling this, and we all said it to each other. We all said, why does it take a funeral, something negative, to bring us together? Why are we not together more often? Because it doesn't matter what the because is. And so when you all approached me and said, I've got this idea, and then Gert said, Google Accelerated Serendipity, I'm in. Because I feel this all the time. I feel like we still have a connection via Facebook, and I think people feel like, all right, I know what's going on. I know what's going on in Gert's world, whatever she puts out there. Or Vic's, and Vic just got back from vacation, and Ted had a vacation earlier, and we kind of know, but that doesn't mean we have the meaningful connections.
Correct.
And we don't really share with each other what's going on. And so you're at these events. I distinctly remember being at Keith's celebration of life and feeling like, why haven't I seen these people in 10, 15 years? This is ridiculous. We shared so much, and I still love them and care about them. Why are we not together more often? So
Yeah, so when I came up with the Accelerated Serendipity, just trust me, it's not original. I heard somebody say it, and so I captured it in my phone. I was like, that's kind of sexy. I'm going to use that someday.
It's groovy.
It is groovy. But it's about, we all have serendipitous and like some synchronized kind of meetings. Like our friend Donna Dallas always says, invite the encounters, Gert.
She does.
Yes, because I travel all the time by myself, so I always have weird accessories and I have this crazy hair because people start talking to me and I'm always by myself, so I'm like, hey. So it's just a great way, because you never know who you're going to meet, right? So I love that. And so the accelerated part is we just need to make it happen, you guys. We can't just keep talking about it and giving it lip service. So, and that's where...
So I broke it down, accelerated, we pretty much, and then serendipity, I looked up the definition, and the definition is the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. And these meetings are happening in a not happy way.
Right.
And so when I looked at that, I thought there was a contradiction in terms between chance and development. And I think with accelerated serendipity, I'd like to take the chance out of it and work more on the development and come up with opportunities on a regular basis for us to get together and to share these moments. And I mean, our networks are incredible. You mentioned Donna, and she's in my world too. My work at the center and other places, we interact.
She's awesome.
So there's so many places that we interact and cross lives with, and I just don't want to wait until our next funeral for Kim Crotein to pass on and me be at the 80 Pie House and celebrating her life, or Roy getting sick and having his surgery, and the hundreds of people that in a positive way sent their loves and their prayers and stuff like that. And we all know and love Roy, who's doing really well.
And Kim.
And
Hallelujah.
Kim, and hopefully, or I think maybe watching. We shouldn't be waiting for those opportunities.
Why do you think we wait, Vic? Like, I mean, why do you think that we say it, we hug each other at the funeral, let's say, I'll use funeral, and then why is it that we wait? Why is it that we go, oh, that was, you get emotional, you get reminiscent, and then all of a sudden it's fleeting, it's over. Why do we get like that, and how can we be better about following through, which is sort of what we're talking about here?
It's because our lives get in the way. And since I retired, I've had more time. That's why everyone says, how do you find time to volunteer? Because that's all I had time to do. I volunteer during the day and spend my evenings with Jackie. And so I had that time, and I've thought about this a lot. So I do little things like when I travel. I was talking to Gert about an example of when I go to Tampa to see my liver specialist. I'll post that at 11 o'clock I'll be at X and X restaurant, and I can eat alone or you can join me.
Right.
And in the one time, 3 different students from 3 different generations of my work life showed up. One from the 80s, one from the 90s, one from the 2000s showed up, and we shared a great lunch. And it was an opportunity for them to interact, and for me, I love hearing about all of your success stories. I love seeing your pictures. I sit every day and look for those kind of opportunities, doing those kind of purposeful things, so that people can interact and fit it in. I try to give enough notice so you can fit it into your lunch hour if you happen to be there. And people like Michelle Spacek.
Michelle,
and that
Michelle
connects all these other people, the Amy Lakes and the Jennifer Waldrons and all those.
Oh my God, Amy Lake.
Yeah, all those people from those years, and Alona Bacau from my Valencia days, and all the people that she impacted and interacted with there, creating these purposeful things for us to get together.
I feel like Gert you do a great job, Gert, of keeping connected, and not just connected on social media, because I think a lot of us have that first layer, right? So you're connected with your high school friends, your junior high friends, your college friends, your friends from another workplace, and you feel like you're connected. Like that's a bond, and in all honesty, it's better than prior to Facebook, because at least you can see what's going on. But Gert does a great job, I feel like, of engaging and inviting. When you know Gert's life, if you see it on Facebook, she has lots of brunches, and she has lots of dinners, and the dinners always include someone that's important to her. And it's not necessarily somebody who's in her life right now. It's somebody that has been in her life and been important to her. It could be a student that she knew, a student athlete from when she was part of the athletics department at UCF. There are so many ways, but talk about how you do that. Because I think a lot of people think, I don't have time for it. I can't do that. I can't possibly engage all these people. What am I going to talk about? So talk about some of that.
Yeah, so again, it's where that serendipity comes in. So the one thing for us is that we have UCF in common. Doesn't matter how old you are, right? I mean, God, I'm even friends on Facebook with some of the people we went to college with, right? And
are they still?
Kids.
Wow.
And their kids.
Wow.
And now their kids are little Nina Olivardia, like Don's daughter, like, oh my God, just posted something so cute today with her little girlfriends. And I was just like, oh my God, she's so big now. You know, Paul Gill, you know, I was walking across campus one day doing a speech, and he was like, Miss Gert? And I was like, oh my God, we have to take a selfie and I have to post it and doesn't tag your mother, you know, so it was like really cool. But that kind of stuff, but we always have that in common. When I do the brunches and the dinners though, because it could be with some new people, new to town, because Orlando, and we've been around for a long time, but it's not always easy.
Cool
I know,
people.
right?
Yes.
Good Lord. I know. I think I still have dinosaur
I do
stuff,
too.
right? So, but you know, getting them to be embedded and be part of the fabric, because we're such an inclusive place, but we, you know, we actually need to, you know, bring people in. And there's always a commonality in there somewhere, whether it's Disney or UCF or the city of Orlando or whatever. But there's always a commonality. You just have to find it. There's an exercise I do in my creativity work where I make this flower and it's got petals, right? So everybody at the table, say there's 7 people at the table, everybody gets a petal. So you write your name, you draw a little picture of yourself. Stick figures are perfectly fine,
Cool.
right? Yes, and groovy. So, and then you put a little something about yourself. But then you have to have a discussion with the other 6 people, and you have to find what you have in common.
Nice.
So, Rick Skaggs, who's the CEO of the USF Federal Credit Union, he's one of my clients, and so we were at Busch Gardens doing this. And I was like, you guys have to find at least 3 things, and it can't be that I work for the credit union. It can't be that I'm at Busch Gardens today. Really dig. And oh my God, this one table was like, Gert, can we come up with like 10? I was like, yeah, you can. So they filled up their flip chart, and it was so fantastic. But they all work for the same credit union. They never had that conversation, right?
Yes.
So it's just about having like really important, meaningful dialogue.
And I think that people have this, I believe it's a false fear of getting together with somebody that you still have a heart for. Like when I think of, I'll give George Cadiz as an example. So he was best man at my wedding. I got to see him, unfortunately, at Keith's service.
We just became friends on Facebook.
And so here's the deal. I still love George, and George is, I swear to you, the exact same person I knew 30 years ago in college and 20,000 years ago when I got married. Why would I not invite him out more often? And when I was sitting there listening to him and talking to him, I thought, this is the exact same young dude that I met at college. He's got the same heart, the same soul. Just because circumstances have changed, why am I not inclusive? Why am I not including him in? That's why I think you do such a great job of remembering people and getting them in. I fight that sometimes. I personally don't, but like if I'm in a group of people, I'm like, well, do I want to bring another person in? I want to bring the other person in, but a lot of people aren't open to that. And I think it's because we have these preconceived notions about, well, that was the past. All right, it's over. And I feel like it's never over. That's my perception.
And there's some great stories
There's
there.
some great stories
that still need to be told again.
Lots of stories.
Yes.
All right, so talk about what is, so we heard Vic's definition. Accelerated serendipity sounds to me when I looked it up. So serendipity obviously is chance. That's sort of what it talks about, how it's all chance.
It's meant to be.
But accelerated seems like you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's you're making a cognizant effort to actually get together with these people or make a difference in their lives or have them make a difference in yours. So the acceleration piece is don't put those blocks up. And if other people in your group are not open to that, see ya.
Listen, you have other you have so many by the way, Larry Rumbaugh is on, and Larry never comes on, and Kelly McBride.
Kelly McBride Perko posts the best
She
stuff.
has the best.
I steal
a lot of it too, and I should give you more credit, Kelly.
Can I mention
Yes, please,
Kelly
bring it
right
on.
now? Yesterday I made a comment on one of these posts, and Kelly responded, yes, we need to get together for lunch, and we've had lunches before, so next Friday we are going to get together
Cool.
for lunch,
I love
and
that.
once we pick a location, we'll invite all of you
Oh,
to join us
fun.
at that
Okay.
location.
I love that
That's
idea.
the kind of things that I'm talking about. You know
But
what I
Vic,
mean?
let's put it out there, and anybody that can come,
Yeah,
anybody that's
anyone that
watching the
can
show,
come.
oh, that's awesome.
We should
Yeah.
do more of that. Like Gert and I are blessed to we get together a lot more than a lot of our friends from that era. Like she's great and she's inclusive.
And we live in the same
and we do
neighborhood.
live like 5 seconds from
Yeah.
each other. But we do go out and we make a point of trying to be inclusive. But I'm not fantastic at it. Look, I'm not great at it. I wouldn't have thought to invite George because in my mind, I'll give him as an example, he lives over in the coast on a boat. I don't know, he's Jimmy Buffett in my brain, right? So those two are there and they've got 2 beautiful daughters. Why would he drive over? But you know what? I haven't given him the opportunity.
That's
This
right.
is the thing we have to stop. We have to stop blocking in our minds before we've even made the invitation. I feel like.
And it's those opportunities. We're playing FAU this fall down in Boca, and Chris Torelli, who's running Hooters down there.
He was in town yesterday.
I love Chris Torelli.
Yeah, he has invited us all the night before to go,
Go to
and it's
Hooters?
going to be a real ugly, beautiful
Oh my
UCF,
God.
I like an
pregame.
ugly,
A
beautiful.
wing-a-ding-ding. for
Another
sure.
another alum just sent a note out and said, "How many of you want me to get a block of tickets?" And so there's going to be 40 of us sitting together.
That's fun.
You know what I mean? So it's those
Yeah.
opportunities, seeing them, and then following through. We had talked about people saying, "Let's do an O-team reunion. Let's do pair advisors reunion and stuff." You need someone to follow through, and a great example, and I love her. Hillary Horner Arena took the initiative a number of years ago of planning Lambda Chi, Lambda Chi brothers, little sisters, Zeta, Tri Deltas, blah, 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 and it's grown into this event.
I
So
love
every
it.
year we know that on the Thursday of homecoming week, we're getting together at Macaroni Grill over in Oviedo. We've taken over the restaurant, and everyone's
I
invited.
bet.
Friday night, there's a Lambda Chi reception, and most of the groups do that sort of thing. We know in February, one of us is going to host a chili dinner. Boom, boom, boom. We have 40 to 50 people attend. We know the second weekend in June, we're going to go to Dixie Crossroads and get together, and sometimes we have 20 people show up, sometimes we have 100 people show up.
Yeah, that's cool.
But we know, and it's a
I love
plan,
that.
development part that I was talking about, that planning and knowing, and you can't be at everything all the time, but you can pick and choose. You know, homecoming is a great example.
You know,
but
last
homecoming
year-
is so overwhelming
It is.
that, you know,
Yeah.
I know.
And there's
There's
so many people
1,000
to
events.
see.
Yeah, and I know
Well,
Gert and I get invited to
Everything.
everyone's tailgate,
Yeah.
and there's no way we can be in, go to
Do a
that.
tailgate tour.
Yeah, so, well, we do. And a lot of times, Vic and Jackie and I will run into each other. But, yeah, the Sig Up tailgate takes across, it's right across the road thing at softball from me. So I always go over and hug the boys, and it's really fun. But, yeah, homecoming. Last year, Dan Strachan did this whole thing. Let's get the UCF Greeks in the 80s to pose for a picture. And then he forgot about it and never showed up. But there were like 30 of us.
Yeah.
I don't
Dan, we
remember who
love
all
some
was there,
Dan.
but it was really cool. And, you know, we're all hugging. We took this picture, and I'm like, where the heck is Dan? So,
And then what
There's
happens?
another great one. He when I was in
That's a great
Washington
idea, Kelly.
visiting, when I was in Washington coming home after visiting Kim Crotein up there, I went to the airport, and who's there is Dan. He saw that I was in the area. I was flying home that day, and he was there, and he had lunch. We had lunch together. before
purposeful,
I-
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
purposeful. He is so good at those kinds of things.
So we were all blessed to live, eat, and breathe and exist in an amazing world at UCF at a time that's not the same anymore.
no, because we're the largest university in the country now.
So here's the deal, though. People are still very responsive to this. When I posted about it on Monday, and then people did do their own research, I got messages about, yeah, and even from my younger crowd, I wish I could get together with so-and-so. And I think what we have to figure out is are ways to empower each other to do that, to actually follow through, which somebody messaged earlier. And remember that it's not as big of an effort as you think it is. I mean, just asking somebody to lunch is not a big deal.
Yeah.
It sounds like it is. Maybe you haven't seen them in 10 years. Maybe you're 28 and you graduated from high school. I mean, way after we did. But you want to see that person. Why do we stop? Why do we not make the invite?
Yeah.
And I think that's where people get hung up. They're afraid either of what the perception will be of them, or maybe you've added a few pounds. I've heard this excuse before. Maybe you're not in the place you thought you'd be. The last time that you saw them, you thought you would have conquered the world. We all have felt that, by the way.
Hello.
Yeah. I still kind of think that. I still think I'm 20. Don't I look 20? We all look 20.
I'm sure, Pumpkin.
I don't look 20.
Sure.
Yeah, just feed it.
Too much salt.
Exactly. So here's the deal. I think that we have to figure out how to encourage each other to make those connections and continue. That's why I love the accelerated part, because you're taking the guesswork out of it. You're making that impactful, purposeful decision to go, you know what? I'm not going to just let chance happen. I'm going to take the relationship that I had, and I'm going to continue to springboard off of these feelings, these things, before the bad stuff happens.
You know, the other thing is too, Ted, I think, us getting together is cool, always, right? I always get excited when I see somebody from my era.
Me too.
But I like to, because I do a lot of work out at UCF, and thank you guys, thank you.
Hey, UCF.
Yes, so,
Love UCF.
but yes, we do, and so I do a lot of work for the College of Business, which is really funny because Dean Jarley claims me,
He's
and
awesome.
but he says that I'm a College of Business grad, which, just so you know, Dean Jarley, I love you, but I'm a School of Comm girl, but that's okay. You claim
School of Comm, baby.
Claim me. But I did their big keynote a few months ago, and we were in the CFE arena, and oh my gosh, there were 1,500 students in there. And so, I'm doing a 20-minute speech, and I guess a couple of the kids that were in, not kids, a couple of the students that were in the thing, they were kids though, but they went back to their fraternity house, and my nephew Kyle was at the fraternity house because he's in that fraternity, and he was like, Aunt Gert, oh my God, he's texting me, he's like, there's two guys, two of my brothers, they're talking about you. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. I go, did they say I was funny? And he goes, yes. And I go, okay, dude, that's street cred for you, man. Tell them I'm your auntie.
Street cred's
but
good.
It does continue on,
It
right?
does.
And for us to share with those students, really important. So
Because they don't have the same experiences that we had.
No, 'cause
we were
they
a
were
teeny tiny Greek group.
13,000 total students.
We literally had this most amazing time in our lives,
and we all knew each other.
And we all I still see Tico Perez up here, Armando Paez.
Yeah.
I see people from all lives up here at the Citrus Club, just as an example. But I also see them out in the work world, and I've had a lot of them on the show. Why? Because I love that connection. If you made that connection with someone, I'm a believer that that's a real connection. And whether or not you believe that thing where it's only for a little bit of time, look, I like that, but why wouldn't I want to accelerate it? What if it's not for a little bit of time? What if it's just because that happened and life happened? Why can't I reconnect? Why can't I bring that person back into my life?
You can, and you should. And it's not just Greeks either, because
it's not.
I know Bob Kodges is watching, and Bob's
Hi,
like one
Bob.
of my favorite people.
We love Bob.
And Bob was my RA in Brevard Hall. So, and he wasn't Greek, but
Bob was an RA?
Yes.
Oh my God, that must have been great.
Oh my God, we played tricks on each other. We got in so much trouble. It was so much fun.
Bob would have had you do improv on a daily basis, I would imagine.
So it was really fun, because then, who knew that years later we would both do marketing stuff, but then end up in this creativity and innovation work. So we do similar things. So we give each other business, and sometimes we co-coordinate too, which is really cool. So it's about the dorms. It's just about your experience, whatever it was,
Oh, Yvonne
and a lot
says
of
hi,
people
Vic and
use
Gert.
that. We are connected to everyone, and in Avalon Park, people sit there and say, you need something. Don't know, but ask Vic, because he may not know, but he'll know somebody that knows. And our circles have expanded beyond my involvement at the center and other places. I mean, my world just keeps growing. And I just wanted to say that just because we reconnect once doesn't mean it has to be forever. You know, I took a personal sabbatical kind of thing off of Facebook and everything, January, February, and my last thing I said, you know, give me a call. I'd love to get together with you. And a number of people did. People I haven't talked to in years. Becky Walker.
Becky Walker. Nice.
Beautiful person, beautiful soul. We got together and spent an hour just talking, and we probably won't talk to each other maybe for another 15, 20 years, and that's okay. Carla Suma, who just
Carla Suma, that's a blast.
You know,
from the
Carla.
past.
Oh God, you know, we connected and had lunch, and it's just 3 or 4 other people. Roy and I do coffees all the time. He, as you know, is a Starbucks addict. And,
Fanatic.
Yeah.
He and I were going to Chris every once in a while. We had.
And
love
sometimes
that
I would
too,
just
yeah.
ask, you know, sit there and say, Roy, where are you having coffee on this day? And he'd tell me, and I'd be there at some disgusting hour in the morning, 6:30.
That was real bad, by the way, Roy.
After he did karate or something.
Yeah.
Right?
After he did.
He's already worked out. It's like
Yeah.
6 a.m.
Yeah, and all those kinds of things. So it's those things, looking for opportunities too, like after this, as we were going through my Facebook pages and stuff, Jim Howard is
Yeah.
I love
hosting
Jim
a little
Hobart.
World Cup party.
You know it.
Yeah.
That's
USA
right. This
versus
afternoon.
Harping
England,
Kelp today.
which is Harp and Kelp after this, and so I saw that again as an opportunity.
Yes.
And I don't know how long I'm going to stay there, but I'm going to make an appearance
Let's
there,
go.
sit there, probably eat something that's not on my eating plan.
Nothing's on my eating
Yeah.
plan.
But I'm going to go there and share some of that. Again, doesn't have to be forever. Doesn't have to take hours of your time. Just look for those opportunities.
So what can people do? So let's give them some kind of tool. Let's leave them with something. So even if you're not part of the Greek system at UCF and aren't as old as the 3 of us are, and you want to re-engage with someone, somebody who was important to you, somebody that you miss. I mean, I think these are the emotions that we feel. Like, I miss people, and I still don't know why. I'm not perfect at it. That's why I'm sharing it. What kind of tools can we leave them with to go, what are we doing? Why can't you reach out to that person? And how's the best way?
I use Facebook birthdays.
I love Facebook birthdays.
And if I sent you just a happy birthday, I'm sorry. But I really work at everyone that I say happy birthday to, I say something that connects us, that connects the 2 of us. Jeff Meadows, it's his birthday.
It's today. Happy birthday, Jeff Meadows.
You know, and I love
I'm
Jeff.
behind on my birthdays. Thanks, Vic.
Yeah, and it's his birthday. He's a fraternity brother, former employee. Love him. Love his family. He posts pictures of his family all the time. So today I wished him a happy birthday and talked about his family a little. Again, that was that little extra. And I don't know when I'm going to see Jeff again, if ever. You know what I mean? But at least we've had that extra connection.
Yeah, I love
Looking for those. When I was doing my leadership programs, I would ask people to look for service opportunities. Mm-hmm. And now I'm thinking that we need to look for those engagement opportunities for us to get together.
Yep.
Things like the Jim Hobart just posting, hey, cheering.
I love when he posts
I know
that
he's
stuff.
conflicted right now. It's England and USA.
What are you gonna do, Jim?
Hey,
Yeah.
Jim, you are a U.S. citizen now.
That's correct.
Yeah. So looking for those opportunities, I posted that I was going to be an angel during the run a couple of weekends ago, and here I am on the side of the road, and people were just basically tackling me as they were running by because they knew I was going to be there.
That's awesome.
And it was just a hug, but to see some of these people I hadn't seen and get a hug from them,
But
it's
that's
just
the
so
thing, though,
meaningful.
Vic. It's not just a hug.
Yeah, it's just not a hug.
It's not. It's an encounter. And you get that energy from that other person, right?
Yep.
Just by
You do.
by hugging them. And it's lovely. I mean, we felt that at the church, for Keith. It's really cool.
When I watched, I posted this because I had this interesting experience the day of Keith's service and celebration of life. I had a graduation party for Scott Rose's daughter, Sarah. And then later on in the evening, we had Keith Lockmondy's service, and I watched everybody in a circle. And I want to tell you, it's it's so moving to see that. And you go, all right, I'm celebrating one and I'm celebrating another. Why can't we do the celebration all the time?
Right.
Why aren't we celebrating each other and our relationships and the impact that people have made on our lives all the time? And I think that's what we want to do. And we want to give you tools, and we want to create it for our group. And maybe you can watch us and follow us, and as we do it, we will share.
Or suggest things.
Or suggest. I love that too. You're right, suggestions. Because here's the deal. We don't have all the answers, but we know where we want to be. Right? So that's part of the journey. So we know we want to be more connected. We want to reconnect. We want to be more engaging. We want to have that connection be, even if it's a hug, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm still reconnecting with you, and you're being part of my life. And so we're going to go along this journey and hopefully document that. That's my goal, because I honestly know that we're going to have some kind of event coming up. We're going to do some sort of organizational thing. I mean, look at the two of them. They can organize. I just want to show up and look pretty.
Can I mention two?
Yes,
real quick,
please. Go.
That I know is coming up. One is in the planning stage. It's our 40th anniversary of the football, our football team. And I know the football team and those associated with it, but I'm working with athletics to do something during that game to get the 180-ish of us that attended the game to get us together on the field or something to recognize us.
I planned the 25th anniversary, so I'm on your team.
Yeah, so so you know, that's one.
I wasn't born, so I can't wait to go.
So on homecoming day, 4 hours before kickoff, because ESPN won't tell us when kickoff's going to be, but 4 hours before kickoff at the Alumni House, we're going to have a dedication ceremony for Kim Croteen, her memorial bench and her brick, much like we did for Rod Durham when we dedicated his bench and brick. And so if you have that O-team connection, that peer education, if you were on the dance team, if you are an 80 Pi, if you're a Greek, if you knew Kim,
If you
4
went to
hours
UCF,
beforehand, it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we're gonna get there, we're gonna go celebrate her life, and then you can go up and back to your own tailgates and your own groups and things like that, but at least we've had that 15, 20 minutes.
We're going to keep doing, all right, so we're going to share. So you know what? If you don't know Gert, how to reach her, or Vic, all right, I'm going to get you off your Rolodex and we're going to figure out how to do that, because they're everywhere and they're on social media and they're fantastic. We're going to share all of that contact information. You're going to reach out to any of the three of us. And let's plan something. Let's do something other than the emergency that's going on in the background, apparently downtown.
Are there firemen?
I don't know what's going on.
Here's the other thing. When you do that, you guys, please use the hashtag Accelerated Serendipity.
Oh, I like
Because then
that.
we can aggregate all that, and maybe there's something we can create.
Big words, accelerated, aggregate.
I read up in
Way
the dictionary
over my
before I
little
got here.
5-cent vocabulary. All right, so any parting
I'm gonna
words
open the
of wisdom?
invitation for those
please.
of you that are not in my circle, you are in their circles and stuff. I would love to have a half-hour coffee with you and see how we connect, and so we can create in the bigger circles.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead,
I have an
please.
idea.
No,
Sorry,
please,
you know
go,
I'm an
go, go.
ideator, so I have
Go,
an
go, go.
idea. And Vic
An
just made me think of it.
ideator.
I am. It has another big word for you.
I like
I'll
this
explain
word.
It
It
later.
hurts.
Okay. So there was a thing I used to do at my Canadian creativity conference, and it was for all the new people, but we called it Common Grounds. So we met every morning, 30 minutes before anybody else came in for breakfast, and we had coffee. Common Grounds.
Nice.
And we found out like what we knew about each other, or we just made new connections. So what if, like once a month, we pick a place, Starbucks in College Park or Foxtail or whatever. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm making stuff up. Or Credo or whatever. And what if we just say, hey, whoever come for 30 minutes and let's do
I like it.
Common Grounds.
All right. Any parting words of wisdom before we head out? Anything you guys want to share?
I just want to mention that we did lose a UCF student this week, and Rest in peace, London.
Yes, and we talked about the good things that are happening as a result of that. They had their vigil for her beforehand, and again, it was an opportunity, and they had talked about, and they are developing great things from that. Tiffany, who lost her life crossing the road about 5 or 6 years ago, and her sorority sisters and everyone else took action and have scholarships now, and have really pushed the effort and the legislation and financial support to get crossroads on Alafaya Trail and
Amen.
University Boulevard, so that our children aren't getting run over going to class, to become better people. So with that, I just wanted to close. Thank you for allowing me to share my
you.
thoughts today. I
Yes, thanks, Ted.
love you guys and all of you out there, and please don't be shy. I don't sleep.
And please
So
have a
neither.
very happy and safe 4th of July.
Amen to that.
I love
Be
you.
cognizant. We love you guys. I love you both. See, it's like I could have talked for hours, but I don't want.
We don't want you to start in on the story.
No story. Oh, I have
Yeah.
lots of stories.
Really?
But
'Cause we
these
don't.
two are just as accessible as they seem online. So if you I don't even care if you went to UCF, reach out to them. Seriously, and me too. We're all open and accessible. We want to make an impact. And what we're talking about doing is kind of trying to close that gap so that we're not all kind of a little bit regretful, which is what we feel when we haven't seen somebody for 20 years and all of a sudden it's at a funeral. We want to get past that regretful and try to incorporate and move people in. We love you, Jackie, too.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, Neil. What's up? You guys have a beautiful 4th of July and reach out to us. Don't do it alone. 4th of July can be a big trigger. We talked about it earlier today
She's
on
one
my
of my
show.
little
Hi,
sisters from
Dolores.
Delta,
She loves you.
Hi, Dolores.
All right, we love you guys. I love both of you. Mwah!
Take
We'll see
care
you
of
soon.
yourself.
Okay, bye,
Love
guys.
you.
Take care of each other.
Bye, guys. Take care of each other.